Part of it. You know, there's entertainers and there's competitors, and I totally understand that. And my job is to compete, and that's what I'm focused on doing. Of course, we're doing this mid-game, but you know, it's something that I'll get used to, and just want to be the best teammate I can.
The NFL world just slammed the rewind button on reality. Dillon Gabriel, the rookie quarterback who apparently thought his mouth came with a free pass, is now staring down a possible suspension after throwing shade at Shedeur Sanders. Yeah, you heard that right. One little comment, and suddenly the entire league is on fire. Fans are losing it, coaches are scrambling, and social media is melting faster than a phone in the microwave. What exactly did Dillon say? And why is everyone acting like he just dropped the most explosive line since T.O.'s press conferences? Buckle up, because this isn't just a scandal. It's a full-blown sports soap opera. The NFL has officially entered chaos mode. And the ringleader? None other than Dillon Gabriel himself, who decided that live national TV was the perfect stage to test his stand-up routine.
Ready for that moment, and I think, you know, I smile because it's like a moment you prep for, and you are extremely excited for, but also got to realize that it's extreme focus, and that's what I've continued to harp on. But you wait for the perfect time, you know, you're going to wait a whole lifetime. So for me, I've always been ready.
The problem? His punchlines crashed harder than a rookie's first interception. And the worst part? His target wasn't just anyone. It was Shedeur Sanders, the walking headline, the future face of the league, the man who makes highlight reels look like movie trailers. So picture this. Dillon steps up, cracks a joke that was supposed to be lighthearted, and instantly realizes he might have just fumbled his whole reputation. Fans didn't just react, they detonated.
Nothing. I don't think about anything. If it's not words or anything, you know, at this point, it can't do anything to me. You know, I know, you know, the God put the ability and the power within me to not even think about nobody else's comments, not care. It is what it is. I spoke with him. He said, nah, bro, that wasn't. He said, that wasn't. He told me on the plane. He came up. He was like, nah, bro, that wasn't at you. I see how they trying to spin. I'm like, oh, all right. I'm not tripping, regardless of whatever it was. Nobody's words or anything affects me, you know. So, yeah.
So did you believe him when he told you it wasn't on you?
Did I believe him?
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like
Twitter went from mild gossip to DEFCON 1 in seconds. Hashtags flying, memes dropping, people demanding suspensions like it's draft night drama. Meanwhile, Shedeur, calm, collected, unbothered, the man didn't even blink. He doesn't chase clout. Clout literally sprints to him like it's late for a meeting. Now, let's rewind a bit. Dillon Gabriel, rookie quarterback, doing his normal pregame routine, stretching, scrolling, trying to look chill. He probably saw one of Shedeur's viral highlights, crowd roaring, cameras flashing, pure superstar energy. Then Dillon opens his mouth, drops a line about entertainers and competitors, and claims later it was all aimed at the media. But come on, the crowd didn't buy it for a second. That tone, that smirk, everyone knew he was taking a shot. And that's when it all spiraled out of control. One rookie, one careless comment, and boom, he turned a regular interview into headline chaos. Now the league's got a PR mess, fans are divided, and Dillon's probably realizing the hard way. When you joke about a legend in the making, you better be ready for the spotlight to turn right back on you.
Dillon Gabriel?
There's entertainers and there's competitors, and my job is to compete.
You don't know that competition exists everywhere? That's just a dumb, idiotic, entitled statement.
Whoa.
You want to play in front of empty stands? You want to play when nobody's watching? Good luck, bro. Hope you can play under duress and adversity, because it's coming your way after the...
There was shade, there was a jab, and there was a complete career meltdown caught in 4K. Dillon Gabriel didn't just step in it, he dove headfirst into a PR disaster. Shedeur Sanders fans moved like a digital army, half FBI, half meme geniuses, all chaos. Within minutes, every twitch, every blink, every half smirk Dillon made was frozen, zoomed in, dissected, and turned into meme gold. Before the poor guy even swallowed his Gatorade, he was trending worldwide like he just fumbled the Super Bowl trophy on live TV. The wild part, Dillon didn't even realize the firestorm he'd unleashed until it was already burning down his mentions. He walked into that press conference all confident. then started fumbling harder than a rookie with buttered gloves. "I meant the media are entertainers and I'm a competitor," he said, sweating bullets. "Sure, Dillon, sure, but the damage was already done. You can't toss a grenade into NFL culture and then say it was just a joke. That's like trying to patch a sinking yacht with a Band-Aid."
Here's his first game. He had a good game. But when it came to Shedeur Sanders, if Shedeur would have threw a pick and fumbled the ball, you guys would have let him have it on the internet. So I'm just here to say, man, Shedeur needs to move up on that depth chart after this horrible performance. I don't care how many yards you threw, how accurate you were. You threw a pick six and you fumbled, and you didn't throw not one single touchdown pass. It's obvious who was the best quarterback in the Browns locker room. There's no arguing that. And to put icing on the cake, Dillon lined up today with a first-team offensive line versus Shedeur.
The memes were multiplying faster than he could hit refresh, and those screenshots, they're permanent. Digital fossils of embarrassment. And let's be real about why this blew up like it did. You don't mess with Shedeur Sanders. He's not just a quarterback. He's a full-blown media empire in cleats. Ratings spike the second he jogs onto the field. Stadiums fill up just to watch him stretch. The man flashes a grin, and the crowd loses its mind like they just witnessed a miracle. He's more than an athlete. He's a movement, a headline machine, a walking vibe that keeps the NFL interesting every single week. So when Dillon tried to throw shade, he didn't just target a player, he aimed straight at a cultural phenomenon. And the response? Instant explosion. His mentions turned into a war zone, his name into a meme template, and his rep into a cautionary tale for every rookie who thinks being funny on live TV is a good career move. Dillon Gabriel's got arm strength, no doubt, but no amount of touchdowns can save you from a bad decision this massive. This wasn't just a fumble, it was a cinematic disaster, the kind they'll still be laughing about long after his next post-game apology. This is the kind of blunder that's going to be replayed forever, not for skill, but for straight-up comedy, tragedy, and disbelief. People will be saying for years, remember the day Dillon Gabriel tried to roast Shedeur Sanders and ended up roasting himself in front of the whole country?
Gabriel take a shot at Shedeur Sanders. We're gonna make a decision on this, okay? So the quote was, he was asked about handling all the noise in the quarterback competition, right? He said there are entertainers and there are competitors, and I totally understand that. And my job is to compete, and that's what I'm focused on doing. Of course, we're doing this interview mid-game, and it's something I'll get used to, and I just want to be the best teammate that I can be and create an environment where we can all do our best work. That's all we want to do. And so a lot of people interpreted that as a shot at Shedeur Sanders, and you saw...
Oh yeah, we'll remember. The aftermath was pure, chaotic beauty. Overnight, Dillon went from next big thing to what not to do with a microphone. Meanwhile, Shedeur didn't lift a finger. He didn't tweet, didn't post, didn't even blink. He just kept doing what he always does, dominating. That's power, the kind that doesn't need noise to shake the room. Dillon practically served himself up on a silver platter while Shedeur sat back and let the world watch him self-destruct. And this isn't just a sports headline anymore. This thing has jumped into full-blown pop culture madness. It's on entertainment blogs, meme pages, late-night monologues. Even lifestyle influencers are using Dillon's face to warn people about career-ending confidence. The irony? Priceless. He thought he was being clever, but he accidentally turned himself into the main event.
Check it out. Today it was announced that Dillon Gabriel will be QB1. So, of course, he got interviewed by the media, and here's a clip of it that's going viral, and it seems like he took a shot at Shedeur Sanders.
I smile because it's like a moment you prep for and you are extremely excited for. But
Now, just in case you missed it at the end, he said, you wait for the perfect time, you're going to wait a whole lifetime. We all know that Shedeur Sanders has a song called Perfect Timing. And I even said, hold on, maybe I'm tripping. But then I looked at the comments, and they think the same thing. Somebody saying, weak-ass sneak dissing. We will see about you. Is that not a shot at Shedeur?
Now here's where it gets even uglier. NFL scouts are watching everything. It's not just about arm strength or stats anymore. They study poise, leadership, how you carry yourself when the lights get bright. And what did Dillon show on live TV? That under pressure, or worse, standing next to a superstar like Shedeur, he might melt faster than ice in a sauna. Scouts are already whispering in locker rooms. Yeah, the kid can throw, but can he survive live television? And that's not the kind of scouting note you want floating around the league. But Dillon didn't stop there. Oh no, he doubled down. First came the awkward clarifications, then the half-hearted interviews where every sentence felt like a fumble. The PR cleanup was painful to watch, like a bad soap opera with no commercial break. Now everyone's just waiting for the predictable move. The long Instagram apology with too many ellipses, the dramatic black and white photo, maybe even a puppy to soften the blow. Because when you roast a superstar and get burned this badly, you'll need every trick in the playbook just to win back an ounce of respect. Meanwhile, Shedeur just keeps stacking yards, dropping touchdowns, and making highlight reels look like movie trailers, all while Dillon's out here scrambling for damage control. He's backpedaling, stuttering, and praying the internet shows him mercy. Spoiler alert, the internet never does mercy. Once they smell blood, it's over.
Off by saying there's entertainers and there's competitors. He sent a slick shot at Shedeur Sanders. But Shedeur Sanders last week threw 2 touchdown passes, and today you had Dillon Gabriel, and everyone's making all the excuses in the world for him. He threw a pick 6 and he lost a fumble. So will you take 0 touchdowns and 2 turnovers, or will you take 2 touchdowns and 0 turnovers from Shedeur Sanders, which he had over a 100 and something. Shedeur had over a 100 and something QBR rating versus Dillon Gabriel.
The memes are locked in, the jokes are flying, and every clip of that awkward moment is getting replayed like it's part of a documentary on how not to talk trash. Let's take a step back and appreciate the absurdity. Dillon's insult wasn't clever, not even close. If you're gonna risk your rookie career live on national TV, at least bring some flair, some heat, something. Instead, he served up the driest, most flavorless take imaginable, like plain toast with no butter. No rhythm, no bite, just awkward silence and regret echoing through the broadcast booth. And here's the real lesson, one Dillon's learning the hard way. You don't mess with Shedeur Sanders, not on the field, not off it, and definitely not with a mic in your hand, because his fan base, they don't play. They roll like the digital Secret Service, fast, organized, and lethal with screenshots. The moment Dillon opened his mouth, he didn't just make a mistake, he walked straight into the viral trap and became the headline himself. Now, the timing of this mess couldn't have been worse. Dillon's supposed to be proving himself, fighting for snaps, and climbing that depth chart, but instead, he's busy dodging jokes and memes. He thought that slick little jab would boost his image. Instead, it branded him for life. Every game now comes with an invisible reminder. Remember the day you tried to clown Shedeur Sanders? Fans will chant it, commentators will joke about it, and opponents, they'll whisper it right before the snap. It's the kind of gift that keeps on giving. Only this one's giving Dillon endless headaches instead of touchdowns. Meanwhile, Shedeur,
take that statement, whatever, but I'm taking it just like everybody else taking it because everybody else is posting it. ESPN, Cleveland, Chops, Cleveland, Browns, they self-posting them clips saying exactly what Dillon Gabriel saying. Hey, you can take it how you want to take it. I'm telling you right now, I find it funny too, Dillon, that every time you got to speak and you get one up on Shedeur, you always got to take a shot. Now look.
He's just cruising, dropping dimes, breaking records, and reminding the whole world that when you're that good, you don't need to respond to disrespect. Your game does all the talking. Now this is the ultimate flex. Shedeur Sanders doesn't have to respond, tweet, or even pretend Dillon Gabriel exists. He just keeps shining. He performs, he smiles, and he lets the world do the talking for him. That's not luck, that's power. The kind of quiet dominance that makes noise without saying a single word. It's a masterclass in control, patience, and pure brand brilliance. Dillon tried to throw shade, and Shedeur turned it into free promotion. While Dillon's out here losing credibility by the second, Shedeur's stock keeps skyrocketing without him even trying. Meanwhile, the internet has turned Dillon into everyone's favorite new meme template. One bad moment, and now he's photoshopped into every failure scenario imaginable. Fumbled passes, broken Wi-Fi signals, even crying Jordan memes with his face slapped on.
I think that was disingenuous. I thought it was unfair
A
to
lot of
Dillon
people
Gabriel.
did, for the record. ESPN.
And the NFL Network.
Like that was
Schefter.
that was
Guys, that's what they do. And that's who he's talking about, by the way. He's not talking about us. He's talking about the Adam Schefters of the world and the national reporters that are making this more than it is. That's what he's talking about. Now, I have to be perfectly honest here. I'm not convinced yet that he wasn't talking about Shedeur. I'm not.
It's a buffet of comedy that just keeps refilling itself. And the wildest part, people aren't just laughing. They're archiving it, remixing it, celebrating it. Dillon didn't just become a headline, he became an entire genre of online entertainment. But let's talk fallout, because this isn't just funny, it's career-altering. The long-term damage is real. Possible suspension, public backlash, and a reputation that's now one bad headline away from imploding completely. Scouts are second-guessing him, teammates are side-eyeing him, and PR managers are probably crying in their offices. Every time Dillon tries to move past it, another meme drops and pulls him right back in. It's like quicksand made of hashtags, and through it all, Shedeur just keeps winning. Every throw, every touchdown, every post-game smile adds to his legend. He doesn't have to defend himself. His performance does that for him. The man's aura is untouchable, his silence deafening, his brand bulletproof. He's living proof that sometimes the best response to disrespect is none at all.
Channel, this is my opinion. This is what I'm talking about. And he definitely taking a shot at Shedeur. Because everybody posting, you wait for the perfect time. Knowing well, Shedeur Sanders got a song called Perfect Timing. You wait for the perfect time, you're going to be waiting your whole life. Think about that now. Think about that now. Dillon Gabriel had to choose perfect time and then wait your whole life. What we been waiting on? Shedeur Sanders, 12, to become the starter, to play for the Browns, to get an opportunity, to show what he can do.
In the end, Dillon Gabriel didn't just fumble his attempt at fame, he turned it into a full-blown NFL cautionary tale. He wanted clout, attention, maybe even to look fearless. Instead, he got roasted, remixed, and turned into a walking meme museum. Now his name is forever linked to one epic moment of chaos. The day ambition met bad judgment live in high definition. And the best part, Shedeur Sanders didn't lift a single finger. He just kept shining while the world wrote his legend for him. Dillon threw shade, but Shedeur threw history. Let that sink in. If you're ever tempted to roast Shedeur Sanders on live TV, just don't. It's not a challenge, it's a career hazard. The internet doesn't forgive, it doesn't forget, and it sure doesn't move on. Dillon Gabriel has officially become a legend, not for his playbook, but for pure, unfiltered chaos. And just when you think it couldn't get worse for him, it does. Because now, every single thing Dillon says is under a microscope. Every press conference, every sideline chat, every casual handshake, it's all high stakes. Reporters don't even ask him normal questions anymore. They study him like he's a science project. Every blink, every twitch gets analyzed like a stock chart. How do you feel about your comments on Shedeur Sanders? Isn't just a question now, it's a ritual. It's the NFL's weekly ceremony of regret. The cameras zoom in, the crowd leans forward, and everyone waits for that flicker of pain in his eyes. It's like a gladiator match, except instead of a sword, he's armed with a mic and a forced smile. And Dillon? He's trapped in a circus of his own making. He didn't just walk into it, he volunteered. Imagine it. Your first NFL game, your first post-game mic moment, and instead of hyping your team, you take a shot at your own teammate. Regardless of competition, that's still your guy. You said you wanted to be the best teammate possible, but then you threw one under the bus, publicly. And when you tried to clean it up in that awkward press conference, it only made things messier. Here's the truth. You're undersized, you turn the ball over, and you're still fighting to prove you belong. That's not shade, that's reality. You might be serviceable, sure, but you don't have the status.
Starting quarterback, and you use that to throw a shot at your teammate. Regardless if y'all competing, he's your teammate. And I think you caught it because you said you want to be the best teammate that you can. And then you went to the press conference after the game and tried to clean it up even more. You're undersized. You turn the ball over. You're not that guy. Yes, you could be serviceable in the NFL, but you don't have the cachet to throw people under the bus, especially publicly.
The history or the cachet to call out a player like Shedeur Sanders on live television, especially when that player doesn't make the same mistakes you do. That's not confidence. That's career sabotage. Meanwhile, social media has gone from simple commentary to full-blown historical documentation. They're cataloging every clip, every awkward smile, every half-hearted apology like it's part of an archive. Dillon's become a living timeline of what happens when ego, bad timing, and national TV collide. And the craziest part? This story isn't fading anytime soon. It's only getting louder, funnier, and harder to escape. Every gesture, every smirk, every nervous eyebrow twitch, all of it has been captured, archived, and turned into digital history. TikTok creators are pumping out mini documentaries like they're working for ESPN Films. Meme accounts are comparing Dillon Gabriel's meltdown to legendary disasters. We're talking Titanic-level chaos with Wi-Fi. YouTube compilations are dropping faster than the NFL can post game highlights, each one replaying that moment in painful slow motion. And Dillon's desperate attempts at damage control, they're getting the kind of side-eye that says, "Bro, stop talking," even from teammates who used to have his back. Every team meeting now starts with that silent, burning question. Did you learn nothing from Shedeur Sanders? Everyone knows the answer, and it's written all over his face in high-definition regret. And of course, the fallout has spilled into fantasy football. Shedeur owners are celebrating like they just won the lottery, popping champagne and posting victory memes. Meanwhile, Dillon owners, they're out here Googling life insurance and praying for trade options. The man has become a plot twist in every weekly ranking. Group chats are using his name as a warning label, and fantasy analysts are using his meltdown as a teaching slide. Here's what not to do when you're a quarterback in Shedeur Sanders' universe. It's not just sports anymore. It's sociology, comedy, and a case study in internet culture. And Dillon's name is now permanently stamped on the cover. Let's talk about PR, or what's left of it. Somewhere, Dillon's team is probably drafting a sad little apology note titled, "I didn't mean it." But the internet's not buying that. You can't out-talk a hive mind that feeds on humiliation and irony. These people can smell desperation faster than a linebacker sniffing a screen pass. Every extra word Dillon says just digs the hole deeper. His press statements read like someone trying to fix a car while it's still on fire. He's not negotiating with fans. He's negotiating with an audience that laughs in emojis and screenshots. The more he explains, the more he buries himself. And the wildest part? Dillon Gabriel didn't just cause a scandal, he accidentally created a cultural phenomenon. Sports bars are replaying the clip between games, classrooms are using it for media literacy, and parents are telling their kids, "See, this is what career suicide in HD looks like." Meanwhile, memes are being turned into t-shirts, stickers, even potential NFTs. Every scroll on social media reminds Dillon that the internet never lets go. He didn't just fail at trash talk, he reinvented it into an art form of chaos. And somewhere, probably mid-workout or mid-celebration, Shedeur Sanders is just smiling, knowing the world, the media, and millions of fans just became his unpaid PR team. First rule, never mess with Shedeur Sanders. While Dillon Gabriel's out here scrambling to rebuild his image, Shedeur's just sitting back collecting highlights, trophies, and headlines, all while sipping water like he's watching a nature documentary about his own dominance. Calm, composed, untouchable. The man radiates confidence without even trying. It's like watching power move in silence. And that's the real beauty of it. Shedeur doesn't need to respond, clap back, or even acknowledge the chaos. He just exists, and the world reacts. Meanwhile, Dillon, he might play a few more seasons, maybe even retire quietly someday, but his name, forever linked to that one fateful moment. Every time Shedeur's name trends, there'll be whispers, smirks, and those immortal memes reminding everyone, don't ever, under any circumstances, challenge the empire known as Shedeur Sanders, because in the end, Dillon Gabriel became the guy who tried to roast Shedeur Sanders and ended up roasting himself in front of the nation. And as the laughter fades, Shedeur's legacy just keeps growing, steady, effortless, and unstoppable. The contrast couldn't be clearer. One man fights to explain himself, the other lets greatness do the talking. And if you've made it this far, make sure to hit that like, subscribe, and share button. Because trust me, this story's just getting started. See you on the next one.